If you're anything like me, the extra time you've had at home the last few weeks has translated into attacking a list of projects around the house. After all, if you're hunkered down at home, there's only so much binge watching of Parks and Recreation you can do before restlessness kicks in. The unexpected time indoors has been a good opportunity for many of us to tackle those home projects we've been putting off. But if you're going to take on a project, you have to make sure you have everything you need. Most people focus on the materials and the hardware. You comb the internet for examples and blueprints. You watch a bunch of tutorials. You make sure you've got a solid plan. But another thing you can neglect is making sure you've got the right tools for the job. Trying to cut a joint with a jigsaw probably won't go the way you want. But having the right tools also means making sure they're in the right condition. Just like at work, we do preventative maintenance checks and services, or PMCS, to make sure our equipment is ready for the mission. If you've ever tried using a dull saw blade, you know it will cause all kinds of problems. It will bind up in hardwood, it will cut jagged edges, it will leave you frustrated. In his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey captures the same principle as Habit 7, Sharpen the Saw. Covey tells the story about a guy busting his tail cutting through a tree with a dull blade. He thought he was too busy to stop and sharpen the saw. All his work was self-defeating and only led to more frustration. But this principle applies in our lives. Sharpening the saw is really about taking time to take care of ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Today, some people might call this self-care. While that phrase can be overused and cliche, there's something to this idea. Balance in these domains will make us more effective and lead to higher levels of health and productivity. Covey's book came out over 30 years ago, but his 4 dimensions look a lot like the pillars of POTFF that Special Operations Forces are familiar with today. The timeless truth is that to craft something in our lives, to build something that will last, we've got to spend the right amount of time regularly investing in ourselves. It's super easy to get caught up in the busyness of our lives and our work. It's easy to get sidetracked in the anxiety of the moment we're in. It's easy to focus on the task and miss the purpose, thinking we're too busy to stop and take care of ourselves. But as Stephen Covey said, sharpening the saw means preserving and enhancing the greatest asset you have, you. So in the middle of the craziness of pandemic, give yourself permission to pause. Take a look inward and assess your needs. Spend time each day praying, reading, and reflecting. Stay on a fitness program. Set up a video call with your friends and family. Redeem the time you have to craft something in your life that will last. Remember that your current situation doesn't have to be your final situation. As author and speaker Jim Rohn said, "Whatever good things we build, end up building us."